Okay, so it is Sunday evening, a little after 5 p.m. I have just spent the last 48 hours rotting on my couch, knitting, reading, watching like way too many reels on my phone. So I wanted to do a little like screen-free Sunday evening wind-down routine. And like, I need to be transparent, I do not do this every Sunday evening. Sometimes I like watch 2 movies in a row, sometimes I scroll on my phone, sometimes I just like lie on the floor and do like pretty much nothing. But I also know that if I do some sort of routine on a Sunday night, the rest of the week goes so much smoother. And I know I just said this was going to be screen-free. I am sitting in front of my computer right now. That is because the one thing I'm doing before I like shut down all the screens for the evening is setting up my Notion weekly planner. And I do this every week. I either do it on Friday before I like log out of work for the day, or I do it like sometime on Sunday if I'm feeling like really relaxed and like I can tackle it then. I did not do it this Friday because it was a production week at the paper, and so I was a little frazzled. So I'm doing it right now. It's nothing fancy, it's just like a free template I found online. But every day I have like max 3 things that I'm gonna be doing, because I know that if I write down more than 3 things in a day, I will overwhelm myself and they won't get done, and nobody wants that. But yeah, I just finished this up. It's nice because a lot of them are repeats, either like weekly or bi-weekly. And so I just check them off as done or like not done. So that's really easy. And then this week, the only like 2 extra things that I have that are not generally on here are a thrifting date on Wednesday with my friend. And then also on Thursday, I have to write, edit, format a Substack post for paying subscribers. And yeah, like I said, I try not to overload my days. Like even if I know that there's like more things going on, if I don't need to write it down, I won't, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. And this week is a little bit different because it is like a production week. Like last Wednesday, Thursday, up until like this coming Wednesday is when we're publishing and when I'm doing my job. And then I'll have a week off until the next one. This Monday through Wednesday, I have a couple meetings that I wouldn't normally have, and then we have final checks, which I think I've talked about those before. We're just like looking over the paper in full and making sure there's no mistakes in the actual layout of the paper, and doing any final edits that kind of just like didn't get done over the week or like last week, which we're working on. We're getting better at it. Okay, now that I have this all set up though, I can turn this screen off and actually have a screen-free evening, which I am really looking forward to actually. One thing that I've been really trying to keep up with every evening is my daily journals, and that's different from like my regular journal where I just write whatever I want whenever I want. I have this Q&A a day 5-year journal, and then I also have this 1 line a day 5-year memory book. I am the kind of person who likes to collect ideas and thoughts and memories, and so these kind of things are perfect for me. This is actually my second Q&A book. I did one from, I want to say starting in 2011 for 5 years, I think. And then this one I started back in 2023. So I'm into my 3rd year already. And I used to try and do it in the mornings, but I found that a lot of the time I would be so under caffeinated or just like not paying attention, and I would forget to do it. And so then I would come back to it like 5 days later. And like specifically with this one, it's really hard because there's no prompts or anything. You're just writing down what you did that day. And so it was really hard for me to look back like 5 days previous and being like, what the heck was I doing back then? But that's a me problem, obviously. But I did find that it worked better doing it at night. If you're unfamiliar with the Q&A a day, the 5-year journal, I really like it because every single day it asks you a question and you can see what your answers were for different years, which I think is really cool. But I'm also a huge dork, so that makes perfect sense. And sometimes the answer changes like quite a bit between the years, and then sometimes it's like the same every single year. I remember that from the first one I did. There were some that I looked back on, and every single year for 5 years I said like variations of the same thing. I'm actually, oh my gosh, now I want to go look at that and see if I'm still doing the same thing like 7, 8 years on. I think what I like best about this is that the questions, some of them are really deep and like make you think, and some are like really, really easy to answer on like any given day. So on February 9th, which is today, the question was, how late did you sleep? Not hard at all, don't have to think about that. But then I'm looking at tomorrow's question and it's, if this day was an animal, which animal would it be? And so that takes like a little bit more thought than like, yeah, how late did you sleep? And then there's like, what was the last TV show you watched? Which celebrity would you want to interview? Who would play you in a movie about your life, and is it a good movie? Anyway, I have been trying to keep up with these. It is just also like a really nice way to close out a day. Even though it only takes about like 2 or 3 minutes, it's just like a nice little bookend. Especially if the day has been like really busy or I'm feeling really frazzled. So since this is a screen-free evening, a lot of the time in the past, I probably would have at this point in time on a Sunday either been watching a movie or scrolling on my phone or playing a video game. But I really want to get back into creating just for myself, and whether that's writing or making art or making music or whatever it happens to be. And so, little side note, I have this like love-hate relationship with piano because I played it when I was a kid. I didn't want to, that's the problem though. I didn't want to play piano. And so I have the piano from when I was a kid in my house, and a lot of the time I'll just walk by it. Or sometimes I'll walk by and be like, I should play piano. But since I'm not going to be staring at screens all night, I was thinking it might be a good time to play. And what a better time than a night that I'm not looking at screens. Okay, piano was like not super fun. I don't know what it is. I think that there's just some mental roadblock that I have that I need to get over in order to enjoy it. And I do want to enjoy it. Like ever since I was maybe like 18 or 19, I wanted to learn piano again because I only did like, I think 2 years of lessons when I was a kid. And then when I got like older and was like able to make my own decisions, it was like, oh no, I actually enjoyed doing that. But every single time I sit down to play piano, it feels like a struggle. And I'm not sure if that's because of like old patterns coming up again, or if it's because everybody in the house can hear me play. Like you can hear it everywhere in the house. And so, I don't know, I have this problem with being perceived, but that's like a whole other topic. We're not going to get into that tonight. Anyway, I'm still not super hungry, but I did heat up some chili from last night. I don't know what's going on with my body. I just have felt so gross the last like week or so. And it might be because my period is starting in a couple days, but also like sometimes I'm really hungry, sometimes I feel gross from it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. So it might be that, might be something else, but I thought I should probably eat something, which you're probably like, why are you eating chili covered in cheese and sour cream when you're not feeling well? The answer is because I want to, and it looks really good, and I am gonna regret it very, very soon, but it's gonna be really good, like in the moment. Something I wanna talk about in like a whole video sometime is the idea of intuitive eating, especially when you've had an eating disorder in the past, or have just struggled with like disordered eating in some way, not necessarily an eating disorder. But I think it's really important to eat what you want to eat when you want to eat it. And so, yes, I will probably feel like a little bit grosser after eating this, only because I feel sick right now. But yeah, I think it's really important to listen to our bodies, and my body is telling me that it wants chili. So yeah, so far screen-free evening is going well. The only thing is I don't know what I want to do now. Like, my house is clean, I played piano, I'm currently eating chili. Interesting, isn't it, that when we remove screens from our lives, we have so much more time to do the things that we want to do. The problem is if you don't know what you want to do, you're just going to default back to screens, which is like, there's a little gremlin in my head who's saying, maybe you should just sit down on the couch and watch some reels. Maybe like put a movie on in the background. Maybe play Stardew Valley. I don't know. But I am going to commit to this screen-free evening. And I think for me, that looks like reading. I have so many books on the go and I'm not reading them. Yeah, I think that's where we're headed. Oh, okay. Realize I don't have my glasses on. I can't actually tell if you can see me okay. I'm sure you can. I brought this microphone because you are rather far away right now, and I would like it if you could hear what I'm saying. I'm sure you would also like that. I am reading a number of different books right now. I think there's probably like 6 I have on the go, which is normal for me, unfortunately. And it does mean that I take a longer time to finish books, but I'm okay with that. And so you're going to have to be as well. I am sure that I've mentioned in the past that my grandpa finds books for me at this thrift store that he goes to. And he's really good at picking out books that I like because he listens to me when I talk. And I think that's really, really nice. Anyway, he found this for me maybe about a month ago, and it's called Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. Hi, Frank. And apparently it is the author's second book, I believe. They did another one that is referenced like a number of times throughout this book, which is fine. It's just like in really basic terms, so it's not really like you have to read the first book to read this book. But hi, you are so cute. Oh, I love this man so much. Anyway, it's really interesting because I started reading this like not long after I finished reading, oh my God, what is that Agatha Christie book called? I'm completely blanking on it. It's the one where there's murders on a train. Murder on the Orient Express, that's what it's called. And so I started reading this directly after I finished that one. So that was really interesting. Obviously, this one draws from the Agatha Christie novel. And yeah, it's been really good so far. And I love, love, love it because it's like a little bit funny, a little bit cute. And it has just been so fun to read. I think I have about 100 pages left. And so I think I will try and finish that tonight, considering it's only about 8 p.m. And so maybe that's like an hour or so of reading. And then by the time I'm done that, I can wash my face, get my pajamas on, and go to sleep at a regular time. I have been doing the lying in bed, scrolling Instagram reels for like an hour every night for the last week or so. And if I don't do that, I look up like weird news articles or like things I don't need to be reading at like 10 p.m. at night. And so I am hopeful that tonight will be the first of many not staring at my phone late into the night and having terrible dreams and dreading everything kind of night. But I think it's time for Franklin and I to sign off for the evening. We are going to read this book together, it seems like. Overall, screen-free evening, it's not a radical concept, and yet I don't realize how much I look at screens, like TV, phone, computer, whatever, until I don't look at them. And let me say, being without a screen for the past like 3.5 hours, that is not a long time, and yet it feels like it was a really long time, and not in a bad way. It just feels like it's been a while since I looked at my phone. And I think that's only because, like what I was saying, like I have been looking at it a lot recently. And so this has been a really good like circuit breaker. And I am looking forward to doing more of these in the future, to film or not to film. Mostly not filming, I'm assuming. More so just for myself. But yeah, I hope this inspired you to do a screen-free evening, whether on a Sunday night, whether during a reset, just to spend some time without your phone. Thanks, Franklin. And just focus on like the real world for a little bit, because I know I have not been doing that recently, and it's been a problem. Anyway, thank you. What are you doing? Hi, can I help you? What are you doing? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.